Hey guys, you're watching Tech Turtles, and this is your weekly tech news for the week ending in October 10th, 2020. Let's get right into it because there's a bunch of stuff we have to talk about this week. Apple announced their new keynote that's going to take place on October 13th at 10 o'clock Pacific time. This usually equates to 1 o'clock Eastern, which is where I'm at. We should get a full reveal of the new iPhone 12, as well as AirTags. There's been heavy rumors about Apple's new noise-canceling headphones, which are over the ear. Additionally, there's been rumors of a HomePod Mini. Fortunately, no HomePod 2. We have to wait until next year for that. Next up, we have Sony doing an official teardown of the PlayStation 5. Everybody wanted more information about the PlayStation 5, and we finally got it. It was actually rather interesting to watch. It was super easy to take apart, and it actually included an SSD NVMe port in the top panel, which is nice to see because unlike Xbox, which has the proprietary storage, this will be nice. You can throw anything in there as long as it's 4.0 compatible, PCIe 4.0 compatible, which means eventually we're going to have cheaper drives for the system. Sony also showed off their stand, which is actually over-engineered in my opinion. It's pretty cool because you can put it on either the bottom or the top to either have it vertically or horizontally depending on your preference and your entertainment system. It also has a place to store the screw and a plastic knob that goes into the side system so there's no gaps. Additionally, there was two holes in the top case where you can actually vacuum out dust, which is actually pretty cool because there's a giant fan in the PlayStation 5, which is nice to see because the PlayStation 4 was extremely noisy, and hopefully the PlayStation 5 with its massive fan can cut that out. AMD announced new CPUs. We have the Ryzen 9 5950X, which is a 16-core beast and comes in at $799. It is obviously the star of the show. They're showing off all the specs of it, and it is their flagship CPU, so be on the lookout for that. They also announced a Ryzen 9 5900X, a Ryzen 7 5800X, and a Ryzen 5 5600X. The 5950X has 16 cores, the 5900X has 12 cores, the 5800X has 8 cores, and the 5600X has 6 cores. Additionally, at their press release, AMD teased the new 6000 series GPU, which is going to be 4K compatible and hopefully should be out sometime next year. Since this is the season of conventions, we have Razer Con, which took place last week, and they announced a bunch of new products. First being their chair, the Ishkart. The Ishkart comes in at $500. It's built by gamers for gamers, and it should give you some extra support while gaming, especially in your lower back. Razer also announced a new mic, the Razer Siren Mini. It's a $50 low budget mic. However, it should be great to get you started when streaming. Razer also announced a duo of PC cases, an ITX version, ATX version. The ITX version is $180 and the ATX version is $200. These actually look nice. Razer getting into the case business. There's not much else to tell here until we can get our hands on one and see what the thermals are like. Razer announced new Bluetooth headphones. The Razer Kraken BT Kitty Edition. They have built-in ears and they're pink, and the ears do different things depending on what you're doing. They can emote. They're Bluetooth, and they have up to 50 hours of battery life. Lastly, Razer announced a new Razer Blade Stealth 13. They come with the new 11 series Intel CPUs, as well as they either have two versions. For $1,800, you get a 120 Hz Full HD screen. For $2,000, you get an OLED Full HD 60 Hz screen, which is touchscreen as well. That's it for the big news this week. Let's just talk about the smaller news that happened during the week. And that starts with Mortal Kombat announced new DLC. It will come with Melina, Rain, and Rambo. Yes, that is the Rambo from the movies, from the Predator movies. Additionally, with the Combat Pack that's coming out, this is Combat Pack 2. They announced a Ultimate version of Mortal Kombat 11, which will come out November 17th, and it will be cross-gen upgradable, as well as come out altogether for the next generation of consoles. If you wanted to grab an Animal Crossing Switch, now is the time. They once were going for $500, $600, $700 on eBay. Now they're everywhere, it seems like. If you want one, and I can't even find regular Switches, but I was at Target the other day and they had about 20 Animal Crossing Switches. So if you want one, they're super cool, they're collectibles items, and they come in unique colors, which you're not gonna find separately. So I would go ahead and pick one up if you want. The retail on that is $299.99. In other news, Miles Morales and Cyberpunk both went gold, which means they're now moving to production and they're being put on discs. that means they are on track for coming out in November. So be on the lookout for those this holiday. We also had a reveal of the Series X packaging. There's also some pictures floating around of the Series X actually being shown on crates in a warehouse, being shipped out. Also, there was rumors about a PlayStation 5 packaging, but I'm not going to show them because those are just rumors. We don't actually have an official reveal yet. Next up is pop culture and collectible news. Doctor Strange is being added to Spider-Man 3, which might hint at a Spider-Verse. That's the only reason I could see Doctor Strange being added there, which would be welcome because Spider-Verse is an amazing comic, an amazing series. So hopefully we get Spider-Verse, and hopefully Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, everybody shows up for the movie and be amazing. Amazon released a trailer for Robert Kirkman's Invincible. It was once a comic, now should be coming out sometime next year. It's an animated series and looks amazing. If you haven't seen the trailer, go to techturtles.com to check it out. Green Lantern also got announced for HBO Max. It's going to be a series, a 10-part series, or a 10-episode series with 1 hour each episode. And it span a bunch of different Green Lanterns. A bunch of them should show up, including Guy Gardner, Simon Baz, and Sinestro. So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully that comes out sometime next year. I think they just announced it. It was New York Comic Con, so they announced it. We don't know when it's actually going to come out. Marvel is bringing a stop-motion comedy to Hulu. That's right, you heard me right. However, it's about MODOK, which is a little weird to me, but it looks funny. It looks like claymation almost, or some kind of 3D animation, but it's stop motion, and it looks hilarious. It's about MODOK and his everyday life. Like, what if MODOK has to go to an office meeting? Like, what happens then? It looks pretty funny. It spans MODOK and apparently his family. We're not sure when MODOK comes out, but it should come out sometime in the future. It looks pretty funny. I was pleasantly surprised. New York Comic Con came and went, and Funko actually didn't take a huge hit this time. Everybody was pretty pleased with the releases, and it was super easy to get in store. People were decent. They weren't fighting. It wasn't crazy. Target had minimal in stock, but that's just Target being Target. GameStop was a little iffy, but it is what it is. As you can see, I got some myself and have more shipping to us. My brother and I went out. It was super fun. The lottery only allowed 11,000 people to get through, which is kind of disappointing because I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of people trying to get through to get them. And it just is what it is at this point. That's the only way we can actually fight the bots somewhat. It's not even all the bots, it's just some. But it was actually a lot better than it was previously, so kudos to Funko. Apparently, everybody's getting into Pokemon cards, and I don't know what's going on, but Jake Paul and Logic both spent over $200,000 on Pokemon cards. Jake Paul bought a first edition Pokemon base set booster box for over $220,000, I believe, and Logic bought a first edition Charizard from the base set for over $220,000 as well. PSA 10 for the Charizard. However, the only thing about this is like everybody seems to be getting into Pokemon cards, and now Pokemon cards are becoming like a hot commodity, which is crazy to me. You know, 20 years later, you can't find them in stores anymore, which is kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is. So if you collect Pokemon, good luck. Otherwise, you know, watch the drama unfold as everybody's unboxing them on their channel. And apparently you have to be a millionaire now to own the base set. So that's cool. I'm not salty at all. Lastly, we need to talk about MSI, because apparently MSI got caught scalping their 3080s on eBay. And this is actually unfortunate because they're using a subsidiary on eBay to sell them for, you know, hundreds of dollars over MSRP. Apparently they got caught, and they said it wasn't them originally. People are debating whether it is or not, and whether or not MSI knew. I'm not really sure. I mean, how do you know? How do you miss, and like, you know, 100 cards, because apparently there's 100 of them. How do you miss 100 of some of the hardest cards that came out and everybody's trying to pre-order? It just seems kind of weird to me. However, MSI responded quickly. Kudos to them, and hopefully they sort it out, because this is unfortunate that the community found out. It's unfortunate that happened. So you never like to see this. MSI said they're going to refund people the money that they spent over the MSRP, which is good for them. And hopefully this doesn't happen in the future, because this was actually pretty sad to see. Everybody wanted them. They sold out immediately. The 3080s are hot commodities, so it's kind of weird that they just showed up on eBay under this subsidiary, 100 cards, and they were going for, you know, $400 or $500 over MSRP. MSI did the right thing. All we can do is take MSI at their face, because we don't really know what happened behind the scenes. However, we'll take the word for it this time. It is what it is. I mean, they're worth a ton of money, and it seems like MSI may have known about it, may not have known about it. We don't really know. It's hearsay at this point. So MSI did what they had to do. They had the press release ready. They sent it out immediately, and they were refunding people with their money that's spent over MSRP. Good for them. Again, not really sure, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just bringing you the news. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have weekly tech videos. Leave a comment, subscribe, and check out our social media. Don't forget to check out last week's video. and some of our reviews. We really appreciate it if you follow us on social media as we try to keep it up to date and try to engage with the community. See you guys next week.